Hello and welcome back to the channel. I have some exciting news that just dropped in the world of Disney Dreamlight Valley. They just released the Festival of Foolishness 2024. Now, what this is it's a event you can kind of complete online. And as you're completing this like story mode quest where you choose different options, then you're going to find a few different redemption codes. In total, there are 9 different redemption codes that you can go ahead and save, and then you're going to put them in your in-game mailbox and you will receive them later on as rewards. Now, this is a time-gated event, and so it's only available from July 16th to August 16th. So make sure that you redeem those codes before then. I'm actually going to complete this right now, so if you want to stick around and watch how to do it, you're more than welcome to stay for the first few. I'm going to try to get as many redemption codes as possible, and when I've found all 9 redemption codes, I'm going to go ahead and drop them down in the description box. So this isn't an in-game event where you're going to go find it in your mailbox or find a character. You actually go through Disney Dreamlight Valley's website, and then you're going to scroll down on events or news and then click on the event that says the Festival of Foolishness 2024. Then you're going to keep scrolling down and it gives you directions right here on how to play. So it says to get started on your own fooling filled adventure, visit our Festival of Foolishness webpage right here. So it clicks and then it brings you to this beautiful page. It says long before the forgetting, there was a festival dedicated to trickery and nonsense each year. As you've repelled the forgetting, memories of the Festival of Foolishness return to all the villagers, and they can't wait to lightheartedly prank their friends and neighbors. Depending on the choices you make in this interactive story, you'll decide how the festival plays out, and even claim rewards through a variety of codes you may find along the way. This adventure will only be available from July 16th, 2024 to August 16th, 2024, so make sure to take part in the limited event now. So we're going to click on Start Now, and here's what the event looks like. You yawn, sun dappling your face through the trees as you stretch luxuriously. Even though stone and wood furnishings in Dreamlight Valley are absurdly comfortable. And it's hard to resist the urge on occasion to take a nice afternoon nap. But now you notice 2 shrubs, one quite small and one quite large, that you're reasonably sure weren't there when you sat down. The smaller shrub twitches a little, as it is full of unbounded energy, and you hear the larger shrub whisper, remember, sneaky feet. Hmm, I can see both of you there. I'm thinking this is Vanellope and Sully. So it sounds like. You cross your arms and stand up as you speak. Nobody's getting the drop on you today. In response, Vanellope's angry face pops up through the foliage of smaller shrub. Sully, you said your sneaky feet would grant us at least plus 10 health stealth bonus. But we've totally been made. In a response, the larger shrub makes a little and the blue and purple furred form of Sully is visible for a short moment through the leaves. You're doing great so far, but it takes a while to properly master the art of sneaky feet. I had Mike drilling me on them every night for ages. You want to come out now? You hear a groan of frustration come from the smaller shrub, and after a moment, Vanellope and Sully burst out from their hiding spots. Vanellope brushes a stray leaf from her shirt and looks up to you. Now tell me, chum, how did you just feel? Did you feel pranked, or were you overcome with fear that a prank might be coming your way? I feel like they didn't want us to actually feel pranked, but they want us to feel worried, so I'm gonna go into that. Penelope grins and pumps her fist in victory. Yes, that's one down. Wait, is the day what I think it is? Sully chuckles his powerful voice, rumbling the air around you. Yep, it's the Festival of Foolishness. I'm giving Penelope a hand with the things this year, and she's got big plans. Penelope gives you a mischievous grin and crosses her arms defiantly. Humongous plans! Stitch and Donald won't stop talking about how they pranked everyone last year, so we're gonna show 'em up. You scratch your head, a little confused by this development. You're going to prank everyone by disguising yourselves as shrubs? Vanellope laughs, a mischievous twinkle in her eyes. Nah, we're gonna prank everyone by not pranking them. Go on. Sully gives Penelope a light pat on the shoulder as she puts on her mischievous grin. She got a pretty great idea. If you look around, everyone's on edge right now, wondering if they're about to be pranked, right? But then they see us, clearly up to something, and, well, let's just say it takes me back to my MU days when I was taking a lessons in dramatic tension class. Penelope jumps up and gives Sully a little high five, and a 16-bit fanfare plays. Exactly! I've got radical creativity, and the big guy's got the book learning. We're a perfect team. Want to join us in our non-pranking pranks? Sounds great. We'll keep encouraging them. Excellent choice. I always knew you were a prankster at heart. Penelope seems overjoyed that someone is joining her and Sully's odyssey of abstract pranking. She glances over her shoulder at Sully. Let's go, Sulster. Foolishness awaits. And with a flourish, she and Sully vanish into the foliage. They trundle off in the distance, and you hear Sully coaching Penelope in the use of sneaky feet. Your mind awhirl with possible abstract pranks. You stretch your legs and head into the center of the valley. You see Daisy, who seems to be constantly looking over her shoulder. Hi, Daisy, how are you? Daisy jumps at your cheerful call and turns to meet you. She smooths her blouse, clearly trying to manage some worries. Oh, hello. Sorry if I seem a bit skittish. It's just that I've heard things about today. Apparently, it's a yearly holiday involving playing horrible tricks. Who would think of such a thing? Daisy angrily placed her hands on her hips. Clearly, she is not pleased. It's a festival of foolishness. People play pranks on each other. It's all in good fun and just for today. Daisy heaves a dramatic sigh and turns to look over to the rest of the valley where you can just make out people going about their business. Maybe this is an opportunity to initiate Daisy into this Dreamlight tradition. Let's try an abstract prank on Daisy. That way she's not so stressed out. Word to the wise, you say, trying to hold back a smirk. I think you've already been pranked. What? Shouts Daisy, spinning to face you. You're not sure, but you think that some of her feathers are beginning to turn red with a Donaldian rage. Yeah, I think Penelope and Sully have hidden something in your shop. I saw them earlier, and they seem pretty proud of themselves. Well, now this just seems mean. Daisy sighs in defeat and then looks back out towards her boutique. Fiddlesticks! I just did my weekly full shop organization. I'll have to tear the whole place apart. Now, where did Donald go? He can help me with this. You give a sage nod, trying to conceal your amusement. Totally. Good luck finding him. Daisy gives you a wave as she rushes off, trying to find Donald and put him to work. You stretch your arms. This seems like a good start. We got a code. As you head off to find someone else to prank, you notice a basket of freshly baked souffles on the ground. You're not sure where they come from, but you grab a couple to keep energized for the day of prank ahead of you. Well, now we've just ruined poor Daisy's whole day. But we got our souffle code right here. I can't wait to find this. All right, time to see who else to prank. A grin of mischief spreading across your face, you find a good vantage spot and look down in the valley, spying which villagers are about and possibly the next recipients of a fun prank. You see, Jack Skellington is being harangued by Gaston as the skeleton struggles under a barbell loaded with coconut weights. Belle is deep in conversation with Stitch, diligently taking notes as he speaks. Mike Wazowski stands watching over the beast perform the same action over and over again, occasionally offering comment. Remy has opened a cookbook larger than himself and seems to be showing certain pages to Eve. Let's go see. Let's go see Belle and Stitch. You wander forward, finding Belle and Stitch. Belle sits with a pad of paper, diligently taking notes as Stitch explains something. Good prank has many layers, makes you think. Belle nods and takes notes as you approach. Hey, you two, you say. What's going on? Stitch's chest swells with pride. Stitch teach Belle pranking. Penelope and Sully say they have prank plans, but Stitch show them real prankster. Belle smiles and places her notepad down for a moment, shaking out the tension in her hands. After last year, Stitch has quite the reputation. This year, I want to play a fun prank on the Beast, so I thought Stitch could help me think of something. Oh, how fun! What ideas do you have so far? Belle glances at Stitch and then down at her notepad. Well, we've discarded a few already as being unsuitable. I feel like we need to hit a careful balance with the Beast. For example, Stitch's first suggestion was into a big bucket of sticky candy, shouts Stitch, and then collapses into peals of laughter. Of course, Stitch would think that's funny. Belle sighs and gives Stitch a look as he rolls around on the ground, but that wouldn't be fun for him. It would take him ages to clean the candy out of his fur. Stitch sits up suddenly to offer more options. That's not Stitch's only idea. Also, Enchanter Costume, cover Belle in fur, pretended to be Wolf. Belle sighs. You can see her internally debate whether it's worth explaining to Stitch why those pranks are a bad idea, or if that would just give Stitch more ammunition for his own pranks. Maybe you should bring in your own prank now to change the tone of the conversation. But who to prank? Let's prank Stitch. Definitely Stitch. He went wild last year, so a bit of payback it now is only fair. But what kind of prank? I feel like a classic prank with Stitch would be good because the other one might go over his head. Stitch continues to try and suggest pranks to Belle. Big bucket of paint fall on his head, paint all over his fur, that wouldn't be very nice. Robot scissors give giant haircut? No, Stitch, I don't want to hurt Beast or his fur. You sigh. They are clearly getting nowhere, so this is probably the perfect time to intervene. Listen, I've got the perfect prank, but I'm not sure if it should go to Belle or Stitch. Both stop and turn to you. You got an idea? Why don't the two of you race and the winner gets my prank idea? Stitch leaps to his feet and begins to show off his speed, running in circles and raising a trail of dust in his wake. Stitch the fastest, any rules? You laugh and give Belle a little wink. Nothing special. The first person to reach the end wins. Belle cocks her head at you and you give a slight nod, happy that she's quick on the uptake like that. Stitch ready to go? Where to race? The end. I told you. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Stitch stands nonplussed as Belle puts out a well-loved book and immediately buries her nose in it. Stitch scratches his head in confusion. Oh, Stitch I didn't mention? This is a reading race. Stitch's jaw hangs open for a moment before he plops to the ground and pulls out a book about surfing, furiously trying to catch up to Belle. Stitch not out of race yet, you see. Laughing your head off, you're eager to see who you come across next. All right, we got our next code. While you're off to discover the other pranks the day holds, you might as well stop and smell the flowers on Dazzle Beach, or at least pick a few before heading off. All right. Got our second redemption code out of 9. You continue your wandering throughout the valley, pleased with your successful pranking. After a short while, you come across Merlin, who seems hard at work. Hey, Merlin, what are you up to today? Merlin looks at you with suspicion, fingers combing through his beard nervously. Normally, I would be delighted to confide in you, but today, well, I find myself quite suspicious of everyone. Sully and Vanellope are the very least up to something, and it worries me. You give a cheerful laugh and approach with a reassuring gesture. It's okay, Merlin. I'm not helping them prank people. You can tell me. Well, I suppose if I can trust anyone, it's you, Merlin says, with a sigh. You see, I'm trying to get ahead of the other villagers and prank them before they prank me. You nod sagely. Very wise, Merlin. We don't want you to get pranked again. But that's not exactly honest, and you're already thinking of ways to prank Merlin. Let's go with the classic prank on Merlin. You've got it. A little callback to the pranks from last year is in order. So you whisper a Dreamlight incantation, and multicolored glitter begins to float up from the ground at the grass at your feet. A little twist of a finger, the glitter coalesces into shimmering column, and you send it down You send it at Merlin's robes. There we go. But it just rolls off like water of Donald's back. With a delighted cackle, Merlin turns to face you. Ha! Thought you could get me with glitter, did you? Well, you'll have to try harder than that. You laugh and shake your head in resignation. All right, you got me, Merlin. How did you stop the glitter magic? Well, I was expecting someone to try glittering me, so I applied a thin layer of reflective magic to my robes to repel it instantly. I'm glad this incantation worked. But I'm still quite worried about the other potential pranks in the works. Oh, I think we get some shards. Content, that's the end of you pranking him for this year. Merlin, oh, use in all caps. I wonder who else is going to prank him. Merlin shares a small gift with you, a collection of dream and night shards to aid you in your own pranks. You frown, feeling a twinge of guilt of how worried Merlin seems now. Should you come clean and tell him about Vanellope and Sully's real plan? Or perhaps this is the price that all the villagers must pay for a proper festival of foolishness. I mean, Merlin, I feel like Merlin needs to know. Merlin's a worrier. Merlin, you say hesitantly. Yes, he replies. Is there something else? I've got to be honest with you. I know what Sully and Penelope are up to. Merlin's eyebrows raise to the point that they vanish under the edge of the wizard's cap. Well, now, what are they plotting? It's actually kind of clever. They're not actually pranking anyone. Instead, they're just making everyone think that they have some massive plan in the works. Merlin begins to tap his chin in thought. Well, thank you for being honest, he says with a smile. I think I know just what to do with these rapscallions. Let's see now. Higgitus figitus. Magic surges around Merlin, swirling into the air, and sets off into the valley. You said, slightly worried. What was that? Merlin just gives you a grin in response. Oh, nothing you need to worry about, but you should get a fun surprise later. Please give my regards to the other pranksters. As you shrug as Merlin walks off, humming a tune under his breath. You're not really sure what Merlin is planning, but you suppose you'll find out eventually. For now, there's still time to find some more villagers to prank. Feeling a bit richer and glad you told Merlin about Vanellope and Sully's plans, you head out. There's still time to find more villagers. Alright, so we must be getting a little bit richer with that code. You continue to wander and come across Scar and Mother Gothel, or Mother Gothel, both hiding behind a tree, talking to each other in whispers. Hi, Scar. Hi, Mother Gothel. You say as you approach, how are you two doing today? Oh, it's you, Scar says with his usual sneer. Are you enjoying the festival? How can you be? Mother Gothel says with a laugh. I'm sure you're falling for every prank there is. You're about to reply when she waves away your response with a dismissive gesture. Oh, don't look sad. I'm just teasing. You sigh, rubbing at the bridge of your nose to deal with the headache that always seems to threaten you when you speak with Mother Gothel. I guess you two are planning a prank as well, you ask, crossing your arms. Indeed, rumbles Scar. We are devising a prank for Simba and Rapunzel. Would you like to exchange ideas? Of course, you'd love to help, laughs Mother Gothel as she steps up to your side, her next words a whisper in your ear. I'm actually working on something for this arrogant alley cat. Be a dear and help me out, won't you? You give Mother Gothel a chance. No, let's try that again. You give Mother Gothel a glance with raised eyebrow, and she continues to laugh and walks to the side for a moment to pick a flower. Scar takes the moment to draw closer to you as well, his deep voice a soft rumble as he whispers as well. I'm sure you can appreciate how infuriating that woman is. Help me turn the tables on her. Well, now this poses some opportunities. Two villains, both hard at work, trying to prank each other while pretending innocence. You can work with this. Ooh, I think we have to prank both at once. I think that is the way to go in this situation. You barely have to consider before you realize that this could be the only opportunity to prank both at once. It might stretch your pranking skills to their limits, but the chance of foolishness is just too high. But how to prank both at once? I think we need to. I feel like I'm a classic pranker in this scenario. Let's mess with both of the villains. The pair exchange a glance and draw closer. Well, I've been thinking, what if something happens and I get locked out of Dreamlight Valley again? We need to have someone ready to defend the valley should any catastrophe occur. I've been thinking that I need to name an official heir, and I think it should be one of you two. Scar nearly begins to purr, and Mother Gothel puts on a concerned look that only barely disguises her greed. The thing is, you continue, I'm still not sure who I should pick. I think you two should discuss it and decide who's more worthy of being the Dreamlight ruler. Ooh, I like this. Of course, it should be me, says Scar, raising a paw to his tawny chest. I am from a great line of kings and am quite familiar with what it takes to rule over others. Don't be ridiculous, says Mother Gothel, stepping forwards. Obviously, you need someone brilliant, someone adept at convincing others to follow their lead. I'm clearly the better candidate. Scar snarls, looking like he's about to pounce. We all know how you treated Rapunzel, he says with disdain. Is that how you would treat the other villagers? Ugh, replies Mother Gothel, waving away Scar's point. Can you imagine how wretched that poor little girl would have become without me? I made her everything she is today. Besides, if we left the valley in your paws, it would be a wasteland in no time. You grin and begin to tiptoe away, a chorus of squabbling villains slowly getting quieter behind you. And we found another code. As you continue on your way, you almost crash into what you are pretty sure is supposed to be Ursula, but built out of snow, and bits and bobs from around the valley. Sensing this was Olaf's attempt at giving someone a good scare, you decide you can't have Ursula stumbling upon it and unleashing her own pranks on the valley, or adding Olaf to her garden. You rearrange the sculpture to resemble Maui, pocketing some of the materials. Best case, Maui loves it. Worst case, he complains that Olaf didn't capture his true impressiveness in snow form. As you return to the plaza, you see that all the villagers have gathered and are hotly discussing something. Merlin, Sully, Vanellope, they seem to be at the center of things. What's happening? You walk in closer. They hid my microphone, shouts Remy angrily, pointing a tiny finger at Vanellope and Sully. And they replaced my trivia book with a book of incorrect trivia, bemoans Olaf. You reach the group and sidle into. I think that's supposed to say slide. Slide into a mass of people. Hey, what's going on here, you ask? It's Vanellope and Sully, says Ulsa with a frown. Their pranks have been a bit extreme. One of my ice sculptures is actually. I'd rather not say. You shoot a glance at Vanellope and Sully, who seem confused and alarmed. Sully, Vanellope, did you actually pull off those pranks? I thought. No way, says Vanellope with angry stamp of her foot. The whole point of our prank was that we weren't doing the pranks for real. Well then, what happened to my microplane? Shouts Remy. In the massive voices, you begin to hear a low chuckle. You peer through the crowd, and to your surprise, you find that Merlin has been quietly laughing this whole time. Merlin, you say, drawing closer. What's going on? Do you know anything about this? Well, he's obviously done it. It's my finest work yet, he crows, hopping from one leg to another in joy. An incredible experimentation with dreamlight magic for a wonderful cause, foolishness. What did you do? Oh, it's simple, he continues with a knowing wink. Though it did require magic involving multiple alternate dimensions, I made all of Sully and Vanellope's pranks real. You can't help but laugh. The prankers trying to trick people but by not actually pranking, ended up pulling pranks without their knowledge. Penelope laughs and walks closer to Merlin. Nice one, Beardy. I can't even complain about it. You really got us. Well, says Merlin, with his smile in your direction, I couldn't have done it alone. I almost didn't figure out what you two were up to. Hi, ya pals, Mickey says, approaching you with a wave. Now that the mystery of Vanellope and Sully's pranks has been cleared up, we thought we'd discuss who had the best foolishness of the day. Daisy steps forward, and though she shoots you a little glare, it quickly turns into a smile. As the first person to be pranked, she says, I'm quite happy to announce that you have reached the peak of foolishness today. But what kind of foolishness? Did you follow the classic line of pranks? Or, like Vanellope and Sully, did you try to turn over a new leaf of foolishness? I've been canvassing the valley and interviewing everyone I found. Based on my interviews, Daisy continues, I'd say you've unveiled a new path of foolishness, the experimental pranker. A reward will be arriving for you shortly. So we did anti-prank ending, okay? A reward? That's an unexpected surprise. You smile and wait as the villagers start to line up. First up is Daisy, who hands you a furniture pouch. I had to think quite a while to decide on the perfect gift for the perfect prankster, but I think I've got it. This is for you. You thank Daisy and take the pouch, opening it up to see Dreamlight Magic Squirrel and manifest an L-shaped couch. That is perfect, honestly. I couldn't think of a better furniture pouch for a prank, honestly. Oh, thank you, Daisy. It's lovely. Daisy smiles and steps aside. Next up is Anna. That's amazing. I've got something for you too. It's not a sandwich, but it's just as good. You receive another furniture pouch and open it up and find another L-shaped couch. I love that the writers are leaning into this. You grin as the villagers begin to titter. Next up is Eve. Directive, she says, handing over a third pouch, which predictably contains another L-shaped couch. You groan as villager after villager comes forward to hand you a pouch containing yet another L-shaped couch. Before long, the plaza is crowded with couches, and you begin to think of an idea. We're gonna turn this prank around. Wow, you say, faking enthusiasm. You know, I wasn't sure about this at first, but seeing all these couches together, I'm coming around. You see some worried glances exchanged between the villagers. You know what? You continue. I think the valley is due for a bit of a makeover. A makeover? Asked Goofy nervously. What do you mean? You crack your knuckles, miming like you're warming yourself up for a heroic feat of the Dreamlight redecoration magic. We have so many different types of furniture here. Chairs, beds, tables, and so much more. But they're all lacking compared to the beauty that is the L shaped couch. When I'm done, the L shaped couch will be the only pieces of furniture allowed in Dreamlight Valley. The response is explosive. Everyone begins to talk at once, confessing to the prank and talking about their favorite piece of non couch furniture. After a moment, you hold up your hands for silence and the cacophony dies down. Relax, everyone, I'm just joking. Merlin laughs and steps forward. Well, that's what we get for trying to prank the best the best prankster in this village. The end. Okay, so out of the 9 on our first round, we got 6 codes, and I will definitely be putting them in the description box, and I'll be playing again on my own so I can get the other 3 codes that we haven't found yet. But this is where we're going to stop now so you don't have to keep watching, but that's just one scenario that can play out, and as you can see, there's many different little storylines you can choose to do, and the decisions you make end up changing the story. So I hope you enjoyed that explanation on how to play Festival of Foolishness. I hope you enjoyed watching the story and hearing the reading of the story, and getting some of these redemption codes so that you understood this event a little bit more. If you liked this content, please make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe this channel. I will be coming out with news and anything Dreamlight Valley, as I love playing this game. So thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.